Award-winning It's Movie Time is produced by John DeSando. Listen to the shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando.
I'm Wayne Miller.
This is It's Movie Time.
It is.
And this is a great time of year for good movies.
Yes. They're rushing them out. And a lot of early Oscar buzz around a lot of movies, including this one.
And
yes.
Lady Bird is not President Johnson's wife.
No, it is. Have you expected this to be some Texas belle? No.
Almost the direct opposite.
Unless Lady Bird Johnson had, kind of pinkish, purplish hair.
We have two female powerhouses in the film industry.
Yeah.
Greta Gerwig, who has been a darling of independence and closely associated with Noah Baumbach, is now on her own.
Yep.
Not the first time to direct, because she's co-directed, but this is really the first solo effort, writing and directing Lady Bird. One of my favorite young actresses, Saoirse Ronan, who you may remember from Brooklyn. I think she was a contender in that one.
I believe so. I believe she was in Atonement also.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So, my question to you is, okay, coming of age. Come on, is it worth seeing? I mean, is it just another coming of age story? Even though I'm not a big fan of comedies, I do really enjoy some of these young lady coming of age movies like Juno, The Easy A. Because I was thinking about how much I enjoyed that one. Yeah. And I like these kind of recent ones more than the 20 to 30 years ago, the John Hughes movies, like Pretty in Pink and stuff like that. They didn't ring as true as this one. Yeah. These characters, I think one of the reviews said that they looked lived in. And they did. Her parents, her buddies, the boys that she gets crushes on. Yeah. I mean, the goofy, dramatic show with the inscrutable priest director. Yes. I'll have to ask you about that afterwards. What the heck was that all about? But anyway, it's almost in many cases just non sequitur. You go from one part of her life as a senior in high school getting ready to go to college to another part. It doesn't have to coalesce. They are just like set pieces. And with the boyfriends, right? Yes. The boyfriend who turns out to be gay. Yes. My gosh. An excellent young actor, because Manchester by the Sea. Yeah, Lucas Hedges. Oh, yes. Very good. Right. And for me, the part of this film that I really enjoy, and I'm a big supporter of this film, is the relationship between Lady Bird and her mother. Yes. Oh, Laurie Metcalf. And a lot of people might remember her. Her claim to fame early on was as Roseanne Barr's sister in the TV series Roseanne, and she was one of the best. I mean, she was very good, and she wasn't over the top, and she played a realistic mother in this. She loves her daughter, but man, does she get frustrated with that kid. Capital T, capital L, tough love. Yes. I mean, and there are so many young women out there who can identify with a mother who loves them to death, but is relentless after them on almost everything. Which is probably good. Yeah. Rather than spoiling them. That puts the kid, basically, and this is not an A student. This is a kid. This is probably a C+, and she's hoping to get into some college that she's applied for. Right. I mean, I love it, and of course, many of the great lines are already spoiled by the trailer. But when she's in front of the nun, one of my favorite characters here, and they're talking about her going to college and her math. And the nun, who must be the principal, says that math is not really her strength. Yeah. And then Lady Bird comes back with, "Not that we know yet." Yes. I love that one. I mean, you got to hand it to the young lady, because she really has a lot of faith in herself. Oh, she does. And she kind of worms her way in, busts her way into the school play, the musical. Yes, that's exactly what I love about her. She still believes in herself. Yeah. And she still is she's gonna grasp for the brass ring no matter what. Even in her college applications, it's just terrific. Well, her grades aren't great. I think one review said her extracurricular activities are
practically nil, and I think that's why she kind of like wanted to get something on her little resume about, so that she could get in some school to look at and say at least she does something. But you know what I like about this? These are kids I could kind of identify with. This definitely eccentric, slightly nerdy kids. And another one I kept thinking about as I watched this and thought about it later was the latest Spider-Man movie. These are kids that are just, really geeky, and they're trying, and they're good kids. They're not extremely attractive kids.
They're not superstars, and I love that. I love that also about Spider-Man, because I've been critical of the depiction of Spider-Man until this last one, which seemed to me to be real.
Yes.
And that's the case with this one.
And it's like little, not trivia, but like their little activity of going, answering questions and stuff like that. You can see these kids, really later on in life probably having a much more balanced life than your typical princess or jocks or whatever.
One of the characters in the story, well, let's just frame it by saying it takes place in the early part, maybe 2002 of this century, in Sacramento, where Greta Gerwig grew up. Yep. So some of this is semi-autobiographical, and it's a Catholic school.
An interview I was reading with her, and she said none of the actual events took place, but they rhymed with what actually how her life was.
See, this is genius. Of course it is.
Yeah.
And one of the characters in this film is Sacramento itself. Mm-hmm. Because like any other kid, she's gonna diss the place she lives in.
Yes.
And Sacramento's gonna be what? The Midwest of California. She calls it.
Yeah.
And only till she looks back on it. And it's the same way with her family. Only until she looks back on it can she fully appreciate the richness that was there.
Even though that Laurie Metcalf as her mom has garnered a lot of early Oscar buzz for Best Supporting Actress, I thought Tracy Letts, who plays her dad, who's a Pulitzer Prize winning
August Osage County.
Yes. And the guy does such. Sometimes you can smell an amateur performance.
Oh, he is great.
And it becomes very distracting to the movie. But in this one, it seemed very real, but not like extremely professional. The guy did a great job.
And look at it, as we've said, there are so many coming-of-age movies, and you have had a dad who is far more comforting and loving of the daughter, it appears, than the mother.
Yes.
And he is just a sucker for his daughter. But it's such a nice balance with the more martinet mother, who has her best interests at heart, but she's not going to let her go. And Dad is there. What a nice counterbalance.
Yes.
But and he's so good. I was worrying at some point he's going to have a heart attack. This little girl is just going to do that. And
I think the mother was worked in a healthcare profession.
That's right.
A nurse or something. So she probably had some education behind her.
Oh,
really was pushing her daughter, to be able to make it.
And how many kids out there can identify with the fact that Dad loses his job and Mom has to double up on her shifts?
Yes.
Now, this is the reality you were talking about that I really like about this. But there is a lyrical loveliness overcast this. It's not insipid. It's not sugary, but it is affectionate.
Yes.
Golly, you just can't. For me, I was sorry that it was going to end because I like the characters so much.
Well, one review I was reading about it said this is a movie that you're going to smile all the way through. There's some funny, definitely some laugh out loud funny moments, but in this one, it's kind of like you were just enjoying the character. This is a family you would enjoy being around, even when Mom's ripping into the daughter about not to show a little bit of ambition.
Well, since it premiered at a festival, there has been buzz that you and I can't avoid. We try not to be influenced too much, but more than one critic, substantial critic,
Yes.
has said that this is a perfectly made movie.
Yep.
Isn't that interesting?
Well, I think the Week magazine, which rarely
that's
gives
right.
4 out of 4 stars for the movie, and they said undoubtedly one of the best of the year. And we're getting close to the end of the year,
Yeah.
so this isn't like March and saying,
Yeah.
"Oh,
Yeah.
so far this is the best of the year." This is
And-
getting down to when they're all pulling out the big guns.
Sure. And the Internet Movie Database, IMDb, has it in the 90s.
Yes. Yeah.
And Metacritic, I think, in the 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, this is,
Entertainment Weekly gave it an A-.
Oh, yeah. Look
Yeah.
at these are very reliable organs of opinion.
Yep.
And while we would diss it if we had a chance,
I'm not going to.
I am not going to.
I
So
enjoyed
Wayne
it.
Miller, the movie is Lady Bird. It is written and directed by Greta Gerwig, and it stars Saoirse Ronan. What grade would you award it?
A-.
All right.
I enjoyed it. I really liked it.
And I'm going to award it an A, just because of the Catholic school.
Well, John, how come, all these movies have like a dweeby best friend sidekick? Am I your dweeby best friend sidekick?
You said it, not I.
Oh.